Okay, it's Monday, May 11th. This is our fourth and final unit of the quarter, and it's the biggest unit in the sense that we're going to talk about the world and where things are happening. And it's all about LS2-1 biomes. Because as you've been researching your endangered species, hopefully you've also been researching where it lives. Because where it lives has a lot of impact on your species. Now, when we talk about biomes, there's many different biomes in our Earth. There are deserts, different types of forests, we have the tundra, we even have oceans and stuff like that. So over here we have a picture of three different biomes. Over here we have the tundra, here's a desert, and here's a deciduous forest. Now, when you look at these biomes, you'll notice that there's a lot of differences. Um, It could be maybe the temperature, it could be maybe the precipitation, it could be the plants and animals that live there. So if you look at the animals, each of these are foxes, but they've adapted to live in the different biomes. So this is an Arctic fox that has adapted to live in the tundra, and you'll notice it has really small ears and very thick fur. Here's a fennec fox that lives in the desert. You'll see it has really big ears to stay cool and not as fluffy of a fur. And then here's I guess, a regular fox, a red fox maybe, and it lives in the deciduous forest. And you'll see its fur camouflages nicely over there. So there is a My Way. This is page 74. This is also pretty much the end of your endangered species research project. I want you to find out what biome your endangered species lives in, what are some things that are threatening your endangered species, and how can you protect your endangered species. On page 75, you're going to take Cornell notes. The benchmark is LS2-1, which is all about resource availability, ecosystems, and stuff like that. Yeah, because where it lives is going to determine if there's enough food, what type of food, stuff like that. So when we talk about biomes, um, there are many different things that can make one different from another. So for example, if you're going to look at a desert versus a rainforest, um, there are some pretty obvious differences. We've talked about these already. You have temperature, you have precipitation, you have plants, and you have animals. So here's a desert, so it's hot and dry, very sandy, very little vegetation, and it does have animals, but few animals can survive here. Here's a rainforest, lots of rain, hence the name rainforest. Pretty warm all year long. And as far as plants and animals, you might have banyan trees, toucans, pythons, stuff like that. So our Earth is quite amazing. It has many different biomes. Uh, we're going to learn about 9 of them in this class, but there's more specific ones. And these biomes are pretty large. You can see them from space. They're pretty distinct in their characteristics. So over here, you might have the grasslands of Africa, or the deserts over here, maybe the tundra up here, or the coniferous forests and stuff like that. So when we talk about each of the biomes, I want you to think about the abiotic and biotic factors. Abiotic are the non-living factors. These are the things like temperature, precipitation. Let's see what else is in this picture. So temperature with the sun, precipitation, maybe the water, the soil quality. So these things will help define a biome, or the non-living things. In addition, you have the living things, and these are called the biotic. So in this picture, you'll see that maybe it's the plants, so the bushes and the trees, maybe the animals like the monkey, the turtle, and the dragonfly. And so put together, the abiotic and the biotic factors will help define that biome. So on page 75, you're going to take notes on what defines a biome. You have the abiotic. These are the non-living things such as temperature, precipitation, maybe sand, water quality, air quality, stuff like that. And you have biotic factors. These are the plants, flora, or the animals, the fauna. And so altogether, these will help you determine which biome you live in. So for example, if we said this biome has a lot of rain, it's warm all year long, it has boa constrictors and vines, you might be correct in saying that it's the tropical rainforest. But if I described a biome that was hot and dry, very sandy, very little rain, has maybe some shrubs, some cactus, and some scorpions, maybe you would define it as a desert. Okay, I'll finish off with a song about ecosystems, and it has some nice information there. Bye.
Plants and animals survive, need each other. A group of organisms and their environment's an ecosystem, like a tide pool, desert, or Amazon rainforest. Both big and small, yet they're still all ecosystems, organisms, and environment. And communities on populations of all species in a particular area, together living. While an ecosystem has the soil, water, sun, community is biotic, only living component. And what's a biome? They're based on climate, a group of ecosystems like rainforests or tundras. The energy flows through ecosystems, stars as light from the sun. Each level exists as each laws for ecosystems to survive. Need energy, constant supply. Energy begins as sunlight, transferred through organisms. Some nods a seed with each time. What happens to matter along it's making its way through? The matter is recycled, each atom is reused, each time assembled into new chemical structures, recycled from one organism onto another. Balance required for all things survival, like the food chain, nitrogen, water, carbon, and oxygen. These cycles vital, so organisms keep living. So let's be aware not to impair these natural ecosystems on the planet. Living organisms are one of 3 different kinds. Producers make their own food process using sunlight. Consumers like us humans are food we cannot make. Decomposers like fungi feed on waste. And what's a biome? They're based on climate, a group of ecosystems like rainforests or tundras. The energy flows through ecosystems, stars as light from the sun. Each level exists as each laws for ecosystems to survive. Need energy, constant supply. Energy begins as sunlight, transferred through organisms. Some nods a seed with each time.